right? I always say retirement is death. You don't want to retire, but what you want is that freedom. You want to be able to go and do what you love, where you don't have to go and clock into work every single day, where you can be able to build an income stream that can replace your main income. And right now, what we're seeing in Kenya is absolutely amazing. Guys, I am here today because of that. So we're going to take you guys through this webinar. So many people wanting to know. And guys, what I want to say, a lot of people think you need to buy property. You don't need to buy property to do this. You don't even need to put your name on the lease, which is what we're going to go through. Now, as you can see here, it's a very, very, very simple model of what we do. It's a very, very simple model because a lot of you guys here, if you're in this webinar, you've been thinking about that. So I want us to do an activity. Everyone who's in here, let's do an activity. You guys can see a little bit on the screen. I want everyone to close their eyes. I want you guys to all to close your eyes. And I want you to envision a life of freedom. You don't have to go in and clock into your 9 to 5 job every day. No, you have a stream of income coming through in Nairobi, Kenya. You look at your bank account, you see that income come in. Corporate clients usually pay quarterly. So imagine seeing 5,000 US dollars in your account through people who are staying in a unit in your place in Nairobi. What does that do? Now you've turned it into a full-time business. Many units. You don't have to go and clock into work. The income you receive is from this service that you're providing to so many people. Now you come up with ideas on how to continue your revenue. So guys, I want you can all open your eyes now. How does that feel? How does it feel to be an investor, to be coming on Mombasa on holiday while you have people staying in units? So what I'm about to show you guys, like I said, if you want to learn how to do this, put a number one in the chat. Number one in the chat. If you want to learn how to do this without buying any property, again, guys, and we've had a little bit of an update where you don't even have to put your name on the lease. And I'm going to explain what I mean by that. So one question I always like to ask people, because this is not just so much about investing, but this is about making your dreams come true. How can we bring your retirement, like I said, in terms of leaving your full-time job to 1 year? That's what we're going to go through. So what amount of income would you want in your account for you to leave your job? I always ask people about this. How much would you need income wise for you never have to go to work again? I want you to think of that number. What is it? Some of you could be 10,000 a month, $8,000. What number is that for you to take this full time? And that's what we're going to go through today. I'm going to show you guys exactly how to do this. Now, in the chat box, what I've put in a pin, you can now book in a time to have a chat within the calendar on how to do this. So guys, I'm going to go back to this image. What we literally have been doing, this is my story now. So nearly about a year ago, what I did was I said, okay, I don't want to own, because owning a property, it's a lot of money. Whether you do an off-plan investment, that down deposit, what, $15,000, 18, it's a decent amount of money. I don't have that right now, right? Or the other option is to buy a unit that's ready. So that's what we talk about here, an off-plan or a ready apartment. Now, I'll just play this video very, very quickly for you to understand what the differences are. And this is a CEO I asked, who's a chief investment officer. Have a listen. You talked a little about existing assets. Why existing assets when it comes to real estate?
Yeah, I mean, one, the risk inherently is a little bit less than a new development, because hopefully it's a cash flowing asset. Even if it's a value add, meaning that you have to go in and do some renovations and things like that, you could kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel when it comes to rental projections. I'm talking about multifamily specifically here. You can see rental projections, and all of that. So you kind of lower your risk. There's still element of
So basically, what he's saying is, I'll just kind of intervene in here. So in the way a lot of you guys have been wondering, all right, I want to invest back home. The issue is I don't have anyone that I trust. You know, your family could steal from you. Things can happen. I've wanted to do this. I've wanted to see that I could make this an income stream. This can change my life. This will change my life. But There's no one that you really know who you really trust. And it's like, okay, how do I go about this? So like you said, there's off plan versus a ready apartment. Off plan is like what my mum did, right? She did it 6 years ago. She bought an off plan where she put 20,000 US dollars down for an off plan investment, right? Then you got to wait for it to be built. There's a little risks. What he was saying now is he prefers ready apartments. What that means is like I want an apartment that's ready now. I don't want to wait for it to be built, right? It's already ready. So like you said, there's already rental projections, revenue. Okay, this is how much it's going to be for rent. Da, da, da. When an apartment's done, there's of course it's there. It's an asset that you can tangibly see. So that's why, again, if you have $100,000 sitting in your bank account, you can buy a ready apartment, right? And you buy it because you get the capital appreciation from it, but then you get the cash flow. The reason why we are here, guys, the reason why you guys are in this webinar is because of cash flow. We just want cash flow. Now, in this model, we're not buying the unit, so we don't get the capital appreciation. We're not buying it. We're not getting an off plan. All we are doing is cash flow. Now, this is the huge update. Basically, if you see this amazing person by my side here, she is One Boy Hirugwa. Now, she's been in a lot of webinars before, a lot of content you guys have seen before that you guys have seen, but she is very, very critical to this because her job here, this is One Boy, guys, her job literally is think about it, Coca-Cola, think about these big companies, right? Guess what? They're moving to Kenya. So when they move to Kenya, guess what? They need a place to stay. So One Boy here, she's the one who places corporate tenants in units. Now, let me show you what she says. Guys, this has changed our game because you know how you can see Airbnb here? What I'm about to show you, our model now, we're not even going to go through Airbnb. What we go through is literally with One Boy. So she has clients from Germany, from Denmark, all these countries, they're moving to Kenya. So she comes so we work with her in this where we say, listen, because that's what I went through. Quickly, guys, I'll just quickly show you my story. This is my Airbnb now. This is my Airbnb in Lavington. Over a year ago, I took a risk. And what that risk was, my fiance and I, as you can see here, so this was my journey to Kenya. Again, if I tell you the story of how I got here, you're going to see where we are is even greater. And this is how you guys can do this, right? So this was my journey in Kenya. I met my fiance here, as you can see. I fell in love, engaged with Inyango, and then we started our Airbnb business. Right. So this is our place, as you can see. This is a place I literally have in Lavington right now. I have 2 apartments since here. I've got this one and I've got a place in Ngong Road. Again, I'm going to show you how we did this. So basically, what I did was we went in and said, okay, let's get into this. So we needed to find a place. We found this place and it's $500 a month, which is 70,000 Kenya shillings. So you pay 2 months rent and a security deposit. And we put our name on the lease agreement. And this one, we went to the landlord and we said, hey, we need permission that we're going to be subletting. Exactly. So this is it. As you can see, we furnished it. So we got it unfurnished. We got it unfurnished and we furnished it. We made it amazing. This is why it's important. This is the business model because we furnish it, make it amazing. And then now this is what, 70,000, which is 500 US dollars a month. Let's say now we can go charge rents because we furnished it. We've made a beautiful asset. We now charge it for 1,500 a month US dollars. So 1,500 US dollars and then rent 500, $1,000 profit. So again, if you see this image, we're not buying any property. What we did was, okay, boom, go to the landlord's property because the landlord owns it. They have it unfurnished. We list it, for example, Airbnb, or we have a connection, a corporate person, and they stay in our Airbnb. That's really the model. So we don't own the place. We don't get capital appreciation. All we get is the cash flow. Now, when we first started, this was paying our rent. So I wasn't paying any rent. It was literally paying the rent itself. As you can see here, if my rent is 500 US dollars a month, like you can see, for example, we're going even into high season now. It was just covering the rent, but it wasn't bringing me extra profit. It wasn't bringing me like extra $1,000. It wasn't bringing profit. So as we went on, I said, okay, how do I not just rely on Airbnb, right? How do I not just rely on Airbnb? So you can see here, because it can be up and down. And there's so many apartments, and that's people's risk because a lot of you guys are thinking, okay, Sujira, if I do this, I got to put my name on the lease. So that means if I'm not getting any bookings, the rent is going out of my pocket every month. That's your biggest fear. A lot of you guys here are like, okay, Sujira, a lot of people even might say, this sounds too good to be true. Some people have said that. Well, it's a business thing. That's why if you have a business and you can see what I'm talking about and how this makes sense, it's about taking calculated risk. It's not too good to be true. It's just, yes, It's just good business, and I'll show you the business. So you guys understand the business, right? We get a landlord's property, we get it unfurnished, and then now once we furnish it, we spend money on furnishings, $10,000 on furnishing, 6,000, whatever, 1 2 bedroom. My mom's place. If you guys haven't seen my mom's place, I'll show you my mom's place. So this is, for example, my mom. She did this, but she bought it, right? So she has a very, very, very amazing place. She spent over 2 million Kenya shillings on her furnishing. But you get my point. The reason why I'm telling you that is because, yes, you got to furnish it and make it nice. So now I thought, okay, think about it. Let's say you do this right now. We'll go into the specifics, but let's say you do this and you have a unit and you need money. You need your place booked out every single month of the year. No vacant. We want revenue, guys. We want money, right? We want this to replace our full-time income eventually, right? So you think about it. Okay, we have Airbnb, booking.com. Okay, cool. You have your friends and family, people you know in your friends and your family that you know who are traveling to Kenya. A lot of people here are diaspora, or you know people, hey, I've got a place in Nairobi. That's how you can get revenue too, because you have your friends and family, they go stay at your place. I've had people go and stay at our place. That's helped contribute towards the rent, right? And then I thought, okay, who else? So one boy here, she works for In Touch Relocations in Dubai, right? If I quickly just go on here, if I go, let's say LinkedIn. So one boy works for In Touch Relocations in Dubai. So I'll just show you. Okay, there she is. I think it's just good for you guys to see. So you can see director, relocation consultant at In Touch Relocations. So you can see In Touch Relocations, for example. Okay, for example, what do relocation consultants do? I work with organizations to ensure that relocation of staff is as smooth as possible. I listen to people's needs to offer service that is customized to the individual's requirements while maintaining professional consistency and integrity. Guys, she's a relocation consultant, and this was just me using I was like, how can I get my place fully booked? If I'm paying rent a month, I can't afford to, like, yes, I can afford the rent. So that was one thing in this business. If you do this type of business, you got to know, okay, if I don't have any bookings, can I afford the rent? Guys, I want you to ask your questions, as many questions as you can, please, because we're going to get into it, and this is all going to be about you. I just want to explain the context to see what I'm just about to tell you. So again, I was like, I can't have space. I needs to be booked out. So what I just showed you her LinkedIn is exactly, she's a relocation consultant. So what does that mean? Well, exactly what that means is, and some of you guys who have been to past webinars, what's happening in Kenya right now, you guys may know it. All these companies are moving to Kenya, to Africa. It's the major banks, telecoms, multinational companies, HQ in Nairobi. I was in New York and I called T-Mobile. And I was like, the ladies on the voice, I was like it was Americanized accent, but then I'm like, wait a minute, I could tell she was Kenyan. I said, oh, she was like, yeah, I'm Kenyan. And then I thought maybe she was a Kenyan in America. No, she's a Kenyan working in Kenya for T-Mobile. So all these companies that, because it's cheaper for them. Why were they going to spend so much on a salary in America? Same as me, my business, I employ people from Kenya because it's cheaper labor, right? So all these all these companies are moving to Kenya. So guess what? She's a relocation consultant. So she helps, a Coca-Cola will come to their company and say, hey, we have our CEO who's moving to Nairobi. He's got a 2-year assignment. So you need to help move our employee smoothly and nicely. So she's the one who goes to and finds them a place to stay. And guess what? We furnished our place with a lot of elegance and class. I spent money furnishing this, guys. I spent money furnishing this place. So I could have a corporate professional who's like me, who's gonna take care of my belongings, and I don't have to worry about Airbnb. I don't have to worry about low and high season. I just have a 1-year assignee staying in my place. Put a number 1 in the chat if you would like that. If you were to have a unit and you were to have 100% vacancy booked out because you have a corporate person staying in your unit. And don't even let me get started on how much rent they're going to be paying, right? Would you like that? If you would like that, put a number one in the chat because so I was like, oh, that's how I'm gonna separate myself from everyone else. While all these, because everyone wants to kind of do this business, people are trying to figure this out. We figured it out. I wanted to even do this business in Australia, but the amount of money I would have had to spend in Australia is way more. And even in Australia, people don't let you sublet. But I'm like, I can do this in Kenya because the Aussie money that I have, it goes up further in Kenya, the furniture, da da da, but I can still benefit from the cash flow. So that's what is good. The less money we have here in countries like Australia, da da da, we can now use that for like, and it goes a long way in Kenya. Are you guys picking up what I'm putting down? Because we haven't even gotten started, and I want you to ask as many questions as possible. So now I just want to play a small clip. Again, some of you guys have already seen this. Again, what I'm about to tell you, a lot of you guys haven't heard this before, and it's going to be powerful because we've gained a lot of interest in this only because of one boy. Yes, I'm on the ground here and I'm doing these things in Kenya and I'm doing it, but this amazing person, of course, we have our connections that I'm bringing so many CEOs to Kenya, but with her, it guarantees us clients. Now, I asked her what her problem was because, again, I saw if I have her in my pocket, in our partnership, it's game over. I don't have to rely on Airbnb. We have someone who's just going to put in clients and the right type of clients, people who have the money. Me, I've learned in business to go to business with people who have money. People who have money, they're not going to stress your life. That's why you see people are going out of business doing this model on Airbnb. Why? Because they listed up on Airbnb, they put it up the same prices as everyone else. When you're on Airbnb, there's so much competition. It takes a little bit of time, and then you're competing on price. The only ones who win on Airbnb if you price your apartment at the highest, and that's a whole nother tactic in itself. But one boy here allows us to get away from the market, and we have access to her clients. Now, even if you've seen this again, you're going to listen in close. Listening close, and this is how I built this relationship. A lot of you guys who are in the WhatsApp group, you've been following and going in the chat, you'll be able to book in a time in my calendar. But I built this relationship strategically because I said it helps me and my clients that we just have clients coming in. We don't have to rely on anything else. Now listen to this. So that example, let's go back to the single one, 6 to 12 months when they come in. Is there any pain point that you guys have to market in regards to the landlord and the supply and the demand? You know how you gave the example that there's a lot of demand for good quality, especially if we're now going to talk about furnished and serviced and, really good amenities. Is there any pain points around there? Is it the same thing around that landlord being difficult in the, let's say, that single person who's coming for a nice furnished and serviced unit?
Yeah, another good question. Yeah, I would say one of the pain points that we do experience. So with our assignees who are single and who would be looking at long-term accommodations in the furnished and serviced space, we would be competing for housing and apartments with the business tourists. Yeah, so with your, your short-let space where you have Nairobi hosts a lot of conferences, a lot of business travel type meetings. And so a lot of these clientele, visitors to Nairobi, would be taking up a lot of these 1 and 2 bed furnished units. So, it's the biggest pain point we have is if we start, say, home find even a week prior to when this assignee wants to, or is available to view properties, we find that on the day of the property viewings, most of them are booked up. I mean, the West.
So quickly, she's basically saying that in Nairobi, Kenya, there's such high demand for furnished and serviced units. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? So a furnished and serviced unit is like, for example, this is like you can see here, for example, here, $21,000 in revenue. This is our place in Australia. We've got an Airbnb in Australia, and my mum has the one that she bought in Kenya, right? Can look at the money that's through Airbnb, majority from Australia. $21,000 just through having a an Airbnb, right? But what she's saying is a furnished and serviced unit is this. It's a place that's furnished and serviced, meaning housekeeping two to three times a week, depending if they're signing one stat. Maybe we also add services, maybe like a chauffeur, meal prep, they're living in the place. They don't want to come and furnish a place. So what she basically said is there's such high demand for furnished and serviced units that when they want to come in and she wants to, like, let's say she shows her client, hey, look at this one, and they're like, oh, that's great, let's come and see it. She goes back to the landlord, and then the landlord's like, oh, sorry, it's booked out. Someone's staying there. I'll just so that if I can skip example, let's go back. I just want to see if I can skip it. What she said. So that example.
Conferences. This is when a lot of these short-let properties would be taken up, either for the weekend or for the upcoming week. So the turnover is quite high. And so that's been, I think, a big pain point. We do find there's several.
So that's a big pain point. And then she's just about to go in and say that a lot of these corporate tenants, they don't want to go and stay in a building that has a lot of Airbnb and a lot of short-term stays. So why am I asking for her problem? Why am I asking for her problem? So we can relieve her problem. So she scratches our back and we scratch her back. So her problem is I don't have exclusive access to units that I could just show my clients and that I don't have to worry about them being taken away because people just want them. No, she has access to us. So she's part of this where it's a financial partnership as well, because now when some of you guys say, hey, Sujiro, I want to do this, boom, we'll have a unit. And then now she can place her clients in your unit. So I am here in Nairobi doing this for some people as we speak, right? So this is you got exclusive access. So this place, guys, okay, right now Westlands. So Wemboy, she is a relocation consultant, guys. So Coca-Cola, all these companies, she has so many clients, so she needs properties and places to put them in, right? So I'll give you guys a heads up, and you'll see this we've had so many webinars. A lot of people have come before, but Westlands right now is the highest rental yield. We're looking at for 2-bedroom, like $3,000 US dollars a month. $3,500 US dollars a month, right? For a 2-bedroom and she needs them. So here is the best part, guys. We don't have to buy it. We don't even have to put our name in the lease agreement. So this is a place that she has already clients staying here. And you're going to see why. This place, guys, that I went to go see, this building, it does not allow Airbnbs. It's only expatriates. I only saw Mzungus in this place because it was people from the UN. This was, I believe, the 1-bedroom space, which I'm going to potentially take. So this is a 1-bedroom, guys. This place has its own backup generator in there. So if there's a blackout in the whole of Nairobi, this apartment, it's like on. Guys, this is like top tier. So this is a 1-bedroom, for example. So rent for this place is 60,000 Kenya shillings a month, which is roughly about 600 US dollars. Are you following me along? In this building, this is a 1-bedroom unit. As you can see, look, it's really nice. It's high up. It's got a great view. This is the 1-bedroom that I'm going through, right? So this is 60,000 Kenya shillings a month. As you can see, I told you this building is only expatriates. They don't allow Airbnb. I've been searching for a place that doesn't allow Airbnb. Now, a little bit of background again. I'm in the process of helping one of the people who've come on this TV series to do this. An amazing person out from America said, Sujiro, I believe in this here. She's now paid for the service and now we're working. So this is the stage where I come to Nairobi because it's like I'm on the ground, so I needed to be able to come in and see things. So we're in phase 1, which is looking for the perfect property. That's why I'm viewing it, because I only wanted to see the best, right? So also one boy, the relocation consultant, she said this building, she already has clients there. So she said, Sujiro, if you can get a place in this place, hey, we'll have clients very quickly. So you can see now, look at the amenities, guys. Look at the amenities. You can see the whole of Nairobi. This is in Westlands, guys. This was on last week, right? I said, I'm only going to view the best properties. You can see this Mzungu guy here in the back. Can anyone see? Can you guys see? It's only a place so this place. Now, this is the fun part, what I'm about to tell you guys. So the 1-bedroom is 80,000, 85,000 Kenya shillings a month. Right? For the 1-bedroom. For the 2-bedroom, which I'm going to show you quickly, skip forward from these beautiful amenities. I was like, oh my goodness, you could do an event up here. Look at this. Like you could do an event up here. Drink like look at the service. I know even ideas that we can serve our clients. So guys, these are the amenities. Amenities are very important in an apartment. So guys, oh my goodness, this business model is about to blow your mind. So look at this. So this now is the money maker. This is the 2-bedroom place I went to go check out. I just showed you the 1-bedroom. This is the 2-bedroom place. Now, 2-bedroom from one boy. Guys, 2-bedroom, it fills out the most because these people from America, these companies, they're going to come to Nairobi. It's a 1-year minimum lease that they have. So 1 year, 2 years, their family are going to come visit them. People, so you need a 2-bedroom, right? That's why 2-bedroom goes very quickly. She needs 2-bedroom, right? And 2-bedroom for rent, we can charge anywhere from $3,000 US dollars to $3,500 US dollars. Now, guys, can anyone pull out a calculator right now? Put out a calculator right now. As you can see me going through this amazing 2-bedroom place. And this is unfurnished. So now, for this unfurnished place that you're seeing, that is absolutely beautiful, as you can see here, in Raptor Road. This is in Raptor Road. Do your research. Google Raptor Road right now. Raptor Road it's a very prime area, right? So rent for an unfurnished 2-bedroom now goes for 160,000 Kenya shillings a month. So that's 1,200. That's 1,200 USD. 1,200 USD. This is unfurnished. So this is the unfurnished place. As you can see, there's no furniture here. Look at it. Amazing place, right? It goes for 1,200 US dollars a month, right? Now, what did I say? For 2-bedroom, we can charge anywhere from $3,000 to $3,500. Maybe you're starting from 2,500, but 3,500 US dollars in terms of the services furnished. That's what we're going for. You guys can see everything I'm saying. Like I'm in the process. I document everything. Look at this place, 2-bedroom, right? So now let's do the math. If we say this place is 3,500 USD minus 1,200 is 2,300 US dollars is the difference. So now this is where it gets good. Speaking with one boy, she said to me, Sujira, this is what we can now do. And it hit me like a ton of bricks. Guys, we don't take out the lease agreement here. This is what we do. So what we do is we show so let's say one boy she has clients, right, who are moving to Kenya. Maybe they're moving in August, they're moving in June. She needs Sujira, she puts in we have a landlord group for all the investors in here. Sujira, I need a 2-bedroom in Westlands, in the one that you have in Raptor Road. So let's say the investor behind this one. So you don't take on the lease agreement here. What I did, the Airbnb I'm showing you guys, I took the lease agreement here. So I took the risk because my risk was bigger. Why was my risk bigger? Because my risk here is if I'm not getting any bookings. I'm so sorry, someone wasn't on mute. If I'm not getting any bookings, then I'm still paying the rent. So like for example, January, you can see here, low season. This again, guys, I put my name on the sublease at my apartment. Low season, 375. So that means I got to pay $200 out of my pocket, right? January was a really slow month. I had to pay the full rent. Now it was fine because it was okay. And most of the time the rent has been paying itself. But this model that I'm showing you guys, do you know why this is fantastic? Because we don't put our name on the lease. What we do is we give them 2 lease agreements. Follow me along here. So when boy, our relocation consultant, shows this place, right? And she goes to her clients and says, hey, so what we do is we show them a 2-bedroom unfurnished. And then we show them hold on, I'm showing you now. Get ready for the magic. Are you guys ready to see the magic? So now we show them what a furnished 2-bedroom. So this is the same building that I've been showing you. You guys saw the unfurnished 2-bedroom. You saw it, right? It was here. It was here. This was the unfurnished place. Amazing place. Now, this is what we do. We now show the client what a furnished place looks like. We give them a model of what that furnished 2-bedroom would look like. So on Wednesday, I'm going to go back to the same build because this is the most popular one. I'm going to put a 1-bedroom here and we have 2-bedroom, the 1-bedroom I showed. So we show them what a furnished place looks like. So we take images of both and say, this is what it looks like. So now this is what happens. The tenant pays for the lease agreement, not us. They pay and say, okay, cool. I'll pay. Remember how we did the maths. So 2-bedroom furnished goes for, let's say us, we go for 3,500 US dollars. So now we say, look, we come to the client and say, this amazing 2-bedroom apartment is $3,500 a month, right? These companies have a budget, $3,500 a month. And then now they pay, we say, hey, this is a separate lease agreement for the assignee to the landlord here. So let's say they say, you're going to pay $1,200 for rent for the unfurnished place. You pay $1,200. It doesn't go to us. It goes to the landlord. So we don't put our name on the lease agreement, right? So 3,500 minus 1,200 equals 2,300. So the 2,300, which is your profit, remember what I showed you guys. Remember, we don't own the property. It's the landlord's property. But now you see how here it says rent off the landlord. We don't rent off the landlord. We're not even using Airbnb. We have full-time tenants because of one boy who's part of this whole journey with you guys. So we don't rent this out. We now show the client what an unfurnished unit looks like and what a furnished unit looks like and say, now, once you choose this place, this 2-bedroom, we're now going to deliver on that service. We'll give them a questionnaire form, and then we have an interior designer who now, so this is our roadmap. We help people do this within 8 weeks, right? So they'll pay us, they'll sign a contract, and then now we'll have a meeting with the relocation consultant. We'll say, hey, look, a 2-bedroom, you're going to make the most money with a 2-bedroom. And now here. So here, the fantastic part is we now just do the furnishing part. So let's say you start this, and then now we just show it to one boy. Whenever she has a client, that could be with Westlands, will be within weeks. So she can come, hey, Sujira, I've got an assignee. They're interested in that building that you have. And then for you, we say, okay, it's a 2-bedroom unit. So now once they choose it, they pay the rent. They may even, we're speaking with one boy, they may even pay our rent first. So they pay 1 month rent up front. And then now, let's say they're moving in July, in August. Now, all we got to do is furnish it because they've already chosen it. They've chosen the apartment already. So we only get started once they choose it, so that we don't have a risk anymore, because we don't have a risk. Now, I thought, okay, what are the biggest risks? And now here's a great thing. All her assignees, minimum stay is 1 year. It's a 1-year lease. So they look at the unfurnished and they say, yep. And then they say, yep, that's the place I want. It's in this amazing building. These are the amenities. We show it to them. Now they say yes. Now we say, okay, now we got to go furnish it. Let's say a 2-bedroom, that 2-bedroom I just showed you, furnishing, we could spend around $10,000. Look, you got to really spend. Look, everything's got to be really nice quality, right? This is what the 2-bedroom furnished looks like. So let's say we spend $10,000 on this. We spend $10,000. We spend $500 for the interior designer. You got to also pay someone to help you do this, right? So you spend the money on furnishing. Now that $2,300, remember, we're showing a serviced and furnished unit. So let's say to, the housekeeping and all that, let's say your expenses out of this 2,300, because the rent has already paid itself, your cash flow is 2,300. Let's say minus 300 because you got to pay for housekeeping, keeping the place clean. Your profit is $2,000 a month. And one boy said her clients pay quarterly. So that's 2,000 times 3. So that's $6,000. You get your quarterly payment throughout the year. So within 2 months, you've already recouped what you've spent on furnishing. And you only do it once the assignee chooses your place. So there's no risk. You're not taking up the lease agreement, right? We show them what it looks like. And once they say, yep, I want that place, it could be a month, it could be 2 months, but usually a bit quicker. But I like to under promise, over deliver. But because we have a pipeline of a client from one boy, boom. And it's a 1-year lease. Now, let's say, worst case scenario, let's say that person moves out after, they move out after 3 months and say, oh, I'm not happy here, right? So we can now talk to the landlord because the lease is not in our name and we've spent all this money on furnishing. So what now happens to the furniture if this person wants to move out? Well, they've already paid us for our stay already. They've already paid us. So what we could do is now talk to the landlord and say, hey, give us 1 month, give us, a certain amount of time, and we'll have someone move in elsewhere because we've already furnished it. And one boy has all the clients. So we already have our source of clients. Boom. And then now we could talk to the landlord, give us a month. Now we'll just have someone move in there. Or worst case scenario, we just take the furniture, store it somewhere else, do the same thing because we're not taking the risk. We don't take the risk, guys. So guys, I am here in Kenya doing this. So if you guys want to get this done for you, this is the time for questions. Again, it's a very, very simple model. It may sound too good to be true. It is. This is so good to be true because we've been here on the ground and it's a good business model. It is the business model. So what questions do you guys have? So now think about it. $6,000 per quarter, right? So $2,000 net profit cash. Let's say if it goes to 1,900. This is for a 2-bedroom, but 1,900 times 12. you're getting $22,800 a year through this. Kind of similar to this. Look, guys. So this is through kind of doing Airbnb 21. This is what you would get now having a corporate tenant in a 2-bedroom. Look, you earn 20. This is our Airbnb in Australia and in Kenya. But this same model we are taking and we're doing it now. Not Airbnb, only corporate tenants. We don't want to rely on Airbnb, right? This is it. So if you guys want to get this done for you, if you guys want to, so what we're doing is we're documenting this. Everything I'm doing, guys, we're documenting this. This journey we are documenting. This is going to be because this is about making people's dreams come true. This is not about just having a unit this is because now what else can you do? You can add more services. Imagine now you have tenants staying in your place. They're bringing family in their 2-bedroom. They want to go to Masai Mara. They want to go to here. You could be their tour guide and we can charge them. They're corporate clients. So what I'm working with our clients at the moment is, okay, let's say we're getting that cash flow coming in. What other services can we add to turn this 22,000 into 50,000, into 60,000? There's other services we can add. Right now, we're working with one of the amazing people. She's really good at events. So I said, okay, well, you want to imagine you have 22,000 coming in rent, and then now you're bringing in another 100,000. Maybe you're creating events for these tenants who are staying in your unit. So you've turned this into a full-time business where now you're getting paid 100,000 a year. 22,000 is coming through your unit. Another 80,000 is coming through a job or something that we've added on top. So that's what we work really. So you can see this place has amazing amenities. So, and that's where we are here. So the best part about this is we basically we'll as we get more people joining our cohorts, we'll be going and finding more exclusive properties, go there, take pictures of the unfurnished, show them what it would look like furnished, and then present it to them. The client now chooses the place through our corporate relocation consultant, and then boom, once they've chosen the place, now we're going to furnish the place. You have it in, look, this is the furnishing part. We'll do the marketing, make it, so we show them what they're going to go into, but we can also, the marketing is also too good to show people our portfolio. And then now we just keep building portfolios of more properties, and we don't put our name on the lease agreement. We don't buy property. And now this $22,000, this cash flow that you're earning, that's when now you can put for a down deposit to buy your own place. That's when maybe if you want to own your place, do that with the cash flow you get from this instead of using your own money off the gate. So guys, what questions do you have for me? If you can see in the chat, guys, you can book in a time within my calendar and for a free coaching session to realize to make your dreams come true, to turn this into a full-time business, like to be able to make this into a full-time income. So what questions do you guys have, guys? What questions do you have? This is amazing. Again, this was really smart. It's okay. If I now speak with the relocation consultant, that's the person who has access to our client. So she's a part of this. She is we do a consultation. Again, we do pay for her services because she places her clients in our apartment, so we don't have to wait. And the best thing is the client covers the lease agreement. We just benefit from the posting. Share with me the cost of furnishing. Yeah. So I would say the furnishing, 2-bedroom, 1-bedroom. So like this place I showed you, like our place, a 1-bedroom, as you can see in this place here, we would say $6,000, 6,000 to like 600K to 800K Kenya shillings, about $6,000. That's what we did for our 1-bedroom. This is a nice 1-bedroom. So here again, let's say we choose, and 1-bedroom we could go for, let's say 2,500 USD. For 2,500 USD for a serviced furnished 1-bedroom. And rent, they pay, not us. They pay $600 in rent, 2,500 minus let's say we go 2,500 minus, let's say 650 is 1,850. That's our profit. So let's say maybe net profit, you get 1,500 net profit a month from a 2-bedroom. And then you get paid quarterly. So do 1,500 times 3. That will be your first payment from the assignee. So yes, cost of furnishing for a 1-bedroom, you'd go for, also this is with our relocation consultant, you'd go for from 6,000 US dollars to around 6,000 US dollars to 8,000 US dollars. 2-bedroom, you're looking for about 10,000 US dollars and above. Maybe you could even spend 15 if you want to go like extra. So in the chat box there, you guys can book in a time. Of course, we have limited kind of time slots a little bit now, just because we don't take any risk, guys, because a lot of you guys, your biggest fear is trust. You fear people to trust, which is understandable. There's people, there's the trust, and also it's an income thing too. It's like, yes, I do have money, but I want to send it smartly. This way we don't buy any property. We don't even, because the other risk in my model was, okay, Sujira, it sounds great, but like, imagine taking on that lease agreement and like, let's say something happens with your relocation consultant, something happens, or then I'm screwed, right? Because I'm in that lease agreement. But this model, we don't have to take on the lease agreement. We just wait until we get the client, because we've shown. So my thing will just have to be getting more properties, because I know this place, I'm already looking for one person here. I'm going to choose the one bedroom, because what I'm going to do, and that's the best thing about this model, because I never made the mistake. Do you know why? Do you know what I'm saying, guys? Because guess what, guys? Let's say my place here, now, what I can do, because I never bought this place, I'm going to go to this landlord. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to this landlord and saying, hey, like, we really appreciate it, but we're going to move out. So we're going to take all this furniture that we spent here. Look at all the furniture that I spent. I spent about 6,000 to 6,000, even going up on all this furniture to $8,000 US dollars. Look, TV, I spent this money, guys. On I spent money. So now we can take this furniture, take it now, move it, and now we're gonna move it here, and we're only gonna do it once we get the client. So we can now move that one, and then whatever else we need to add. So that's what I'm going to do for my clients. I'm doing 2 bedroom because that's the big money maker. But you could do 1 bedroom as well. So once we sell out units in this building, because this is the highest, we already know that she already has clients in long-term leases here. So this one is going to go very quickly. So now my goal will be to going and finding like other places, so we can have different buildings, different units. Like, look, you can see this is a different unit, right? This is what it looks like furnished. So my goal is, I'm showing, okay, I show the client what it looks like furnished, what it looks like unfurnished. They choose it, and then now that's when we start the furnishing, do the marketing, and so you can be a part of this as well. So like, you can see the cash. So booking your time in my calendar in the chat, and then we'll get started on all the information that you need to do this. Or if you want help doing this and you want to take that route of going into business together, we can explore that option as well. So book in the time. And what other questions you guys have, guys? We're live on the ground doing this. I'm here in Diani. This has become a full-time business for me because I took the risk. I own a marketing company, guys, and that's probably why, like, when you own a marketing company as well, you can come into any business, right? So, but like me starting in this way, I just thought this is so much easier because I don't have to hold the risk of, doing, buying a place or doing the subleasing. No, if we just have our direct source of long-term clients, then happy days. Like, I don't have to worry about anything. I'll get $22,000 in net profit, So, yeah, so this has been me. Like, this is our company website. ETS Rabasha Media. I haven't, this was just a side business. It was just something my fiance, she's an interior designer. That's why you can see our place is magnificent, amazing place. I'm good at customer service. Like, customer service has been a big thing. So, yeah, I will show you guys one thing what our goal is. Oh, by the way, like, big shout out. We did get marketing agency of the year in Australia. I do live in Australia. I will show you guys this quickly while you ask your questions. And as you book in your time slots, this is just vacancy rate. So this is what's happening in Westlands. So right now, if you do your research as well, Westlands is at, like, one boy has told me, like, and in the meetings we've had, Sujira, yeah, Westlands. Like, I need, like, she needs to put her clients in. She has to now imagine she has to go search for places, other landlords, but now she has us. So she comes straight to me. Hey, Sujira, do you have another West? Yeah, boom, here you go. Boom. And that's you guys. Hey, boom, all we got to do is furnish it. Have a listen to what this guy says in terms of vacancy rate. This is what's happening in Westlands right now. This was a podcast.
So vacancy rate essentially is, if you think about the number of rental properties that there are in an area, it's the comparison of how many rental properties are there, and a vacant rental property is a property that's actually been listed on the market for more than 21 days. So you take the proportion of that compared to the available rental dwellings, and that gives you an idea of how quickly these rental properties are moving. So ideally, a good vacancy rate in a target market falls between sort of 0 and 3%. If it's less than 1%, it's very, very tight. And what that tends to mean is you've got a lot of renters fighting over the same properties, and that can enable you to maximize your rental income.
Oh, very important what he said. So if it's very low vacancy rate, meaning is like you've got a lot of renters, people looking for a place to stay, they are fighting for those same units. That's why what one boy said, I like there's so many like there's these amazing units, but like as soon as I want to put my assignees in there, they're already gone. Like the people are renting them. So for because you can maximize the cash flow income. So this place here, which is very desired, like this place here is only corporates. No, guys, they don't allow Airbnb in this building. It's only expatriates. You can see this Muzungu there who's chilling there on this side here, right? It's only like expatriates, this place. It's the highest level. It's right in Raptor Road. It's thing. We don't even have to take on the lease agreement. So why we can maximize the rental income. So now for a 2 bedroom, we can now put for rent because we're furnishing it and adding services and providing service to these guys, then we can increase the rental income. So we can get 3,500 USD for this we can charge. We don't pay the rent. The assignee pays for the rent and they pay us, of course, for the furnishing and the servicing. So that's 2,300 USD cash flow, boom, minus expenses. That's $2,000 cash flow. Listen to what he says now.
Over time. So it's just one factor I look at for clients is not obviously, primarily we want to make sure that the capital growth increases over time.
Capital growth, we don't get capital growth because it's not our property. We didn't buy it. We didn't get capital growth, which is okay because also let's say something bad happens to that unit. Our model, because we didn't buy it, we can take our furniture and we can go to another building and set the same thing. So that's the good thing about us. We take less risk. Maybe we can take more risk for our own one if we want to buy one for ourselves. That's cool. But we take less risk doing this. But we just don't get the capital appreciation. But what do we get?
But you also want to manage the cash flow because the more cash flow that you can generate from a property can actually play a big part on being able to then get and invest in your next property and ultimately building your portfolio.
We just want the cash flow and then we get the cash flow, and we get another one and another one. So in this model, what you just do is you get the income. So you furnished it after 6 months, boom, you've already made back what you spent on furnishing. After another 6 months, you've made extra. Then you can say, you know what? I'm ready, Sujira, I'm ready to furnish another one. So you're not taking lease agreements, you're not buying, you just recoup what you spent on furnishing. All right, let's go do another one. Then when she gets an assignee, chooses one, boom, furnish it there. You boom. But that's 2 apartments now bringing $40,000. You get it. So you're just getting that money. Maybe even you're working your job, putting money on the side as this is bringing income. You put money on the side from your job, boom, get ready to furnish another one. Imagine if you have the money now because you've done one to furnish another 3, 4. You can even potentially borrow money from the bank in Kenya because we have our Australian salary, Australia, US, like we get good money. We can go borrow money from the bank, do that. You have good repayments and then boom, boom. So then now, and then cash flow. So guys, booking your meeting now. And what other questions do you have? A lot of you guys have been dreaming about this. You've been visualizing this. You've been manifesting this. You came across my ad on Facebook, not by accident, because your mind is powerful and anything you want, you can do. You've been dreaming about retiring early. You've been dreaming about turning this into a full-time income. Imagine you do this 6 units. You don't have to go to work your job anymore. You can be coming and traveling in Kenya, maybe coming and we're even doing this together. We work with all of our business partners because I'm used to working with businesses. I do marketing. So I'm always adding services to businesses. That's why this is so good for me because it's simple, it's easy. But now, because I'm a businessman and already doing this, I can come up with extra ideas. This whole thing is because I've come up with ideas. From where I started to where I am now is completely different. As I said, you guys are in a better position than me because I took the risk and put a lease agreement under my name. Even though it's been paying my rent, if it was a bad investment, I would have just stopped. But guys, I did the Airbnb thing. It was great. Maybe we'll do that more later when we know we can guarantee a place because we know Airbnb works. It just, but I say, you know what, if we have corporate tenants, I don't have to worry about Airbnb. So you see, I developed it. It was just because, so now we're doing this for people through an 8-week period. Again, always I will even tell people, you get your money back. Like we even have a money back guarantee because again, we just do the best part here. Of course, my most important part here, phase 1 that we go through with people is finding the place. That's about it. Once we find the place, We don't take the lease. So again, this building was, because I'm doing this, I had to go here because I was in Australia finding the best properties. This is one I found and I said, wow. I showed this to one boy in our WhatsApp group with another landlord, and she was like, Sujira, I have two clients staying in this place already. I have two clients staying in. So I'm like, okay, that's a place that has demand. I haven't went and seen any other properties because I don't even want to waste my time. I'm a perfectionist, so everything has to be the best for our clients. Again, you can see that Muzungu in the back there. You see the type of the audience that's there. So this is the place I found. Look at the view there. Guys, the one bedroom in this place is $600 a month. Two bedroom is going for $1,200. And then so think about how much for furnishing and servicing, right? Am I making this up? No, it's just good business, right? So as I said, I'm now doing this for people. So so this is this is phase one, which is, I say I got to go find the property. Once we find the best place with the best location, and so now cool, our client now, she doesn't have to put up the lease agreement, or she's just got to get ready for the money for furnishing. So when we get an assignee, hey, no, I knock on her door. We have fortnightly meetings with everyone because we work on the business. I knock on her door, boom, we've got a client. We don't have to worry about the lawyer here, lease agreement, nothing. Boom, we've got a client. All right, now it's time to furnish it. This is phase two, furnishing it, take photos, videos. And then if any of you guys are coming to Kenya, maybe before the assignee, we'll do a video. Even we don't even have to, because we're creating this into a TV series, because we're documenting this, right? I want to have proof of how many lives I changed. I document my whole life. That's why you can see here it's documented. Because when it's all said and done, we're going to go down in history for helping so many people do this. I'm here in Kenya, Diani, because of this. So what questions do you guys have before we get out of here? And booking your time. What do you have to lose? Booking your time. Many people come to webinars, they listen, and then they just go away and they don't take any action. Are you going to be the 1%? Are you going to be the one person who changes your life? It takes money to make money. The reason why you guys are here is because I paid for you to be here. I run ads on Facebook because I know in my business, I need to invest in my business. Do you know how much money I spent furnishing my place and doing this whole process, taking on the lease agreement, which you guys don't have to anymore? I spent money, 20 grand, 20 like, da da da. But of course they're all calculated things. But now over the 2-3 year period, now I'm coming to Kenya, and guess what? I don't have to pay rent I don't have to pay Airbnb money when I come to Kenya now. Why do you think I'm here doing this for clients and I'm staying? This is my dream because I've been in a relationship. So it was hard traveling long distance, but because I didn't have, think about it. How much am I spending on Airbnb every time I come to Kenya? Come on. It's expensive, man. $2,000, $5,000, that you'd be spending on Airbnb. But now, because I did this and I actually did put lease agreements in my name, we got two, one that we live in, another. But it's okay. I come to Kenya, all I got to do is just pay the rent. What, $500 a month? That's nothing. And I'm getting my income. I'm working. I'm getting, so I can pay the rent. And I'm here in Kenya. I could be here for 3-4 months. Some of you guys, maybe you could work remote. So this helps you actually to relocate to Kenya. I love coming here 6 months out of the year. The money goes further here. So I even save more money because the income that I get is strong. So I get to save it. I can come to places like this so you can do that too by doing this. Now I've got a property that I go check out. I went to go check out my place. If some of you guys want to see, but please guys ask questions. I can just show you a little short. Maybe go to my channel. What questions do you guys have? Again, let me just Google my name again, guys. Yes, this is it, man. The dream come true. Where is it? Shorts. Look at our place, guys. For how much income do you guys want to earn from this, guys? That's the big question. This is your time to make your dream come true. This is your time to act. What are you waiting for? I don't know why the short's taking a while to load, but I went there for the first time. So guys, this is my Airbnb. as I said, I was doing this all while I'm in Australia. A lot of you guys fear, oh, Sujiro, if I do this, who do I have on the ground? Me, I didn't have, I'm sorry, I don't know if I'm teasing, but I didn't have to worry about that. I didn't have to worry about my family scamming me or this. I knew, of course, I've got my partner there, like she's not gonna, so I knew everything. All I had to do was I was just an investor. I'm running my business. I'm like, all right, take care of it. Boom. How much? Boom. I was furnishing, sending money on furnishing, but I'm not worrying that that money's going to waste. So now I came to Kenya. I've got 2 apartments. I wasn't here during any of those times, but we've got stuff on the ground that we've patterned. So this is the place I went to go check out my place that now I'm coming to Kenya. Look, for the first time, I just came to check my Airbnb live in person here in Nairobi, and I'm blown away. You've got a full gym, premium amenities, everything a corporate resident, tenant, or guest actually needs. And this is the best part I love. We took this place completely unfurnished and turned it into this. Furnished it with intention, created a space that feels premium, not basic. So now when I'm in Nairobi, I stay here. But when I'm not, this becomes an income generating asset. That's the play. You don't just rent, you create value. I've been doing this all the way from Australia. If you want to learn how to set something. So, and like I said, we'll take our furniture away from here. We shut shop with our lease agreement. And then now once we've already got, hey, one boy, boom, she puts a 10. Hey, Sujiro, yes, I've got someone coming in on Tuesday. We'll give them a form, kind of, because our services, we're gonna personalize the furnishing too, right? With the first clients that you get. So, thank you guys for joining the webinar. Again, do you have any questions before we get out of here? Any questions? Anything you want to know? Anything you're scared about? What you're worried about? Like, you don't want your money to go to waste, guys. With this model, it will not go to waste. One thing we always say in the investment world, you also got to look at the operator. In this thing, I'm the operator, guys. I'm the operator here. I'm the one who's on the ground. We meet as business partners, but you got to have a good operator. But what we're doing, we in flow, guys. We in flow. And as I said, I think coming on the ground, I came and found out that because I'm here in Kenya. So that's when we coming with one boy, we said, oh my goodness, this changes the game, because now we don't need to rely on Airbnb. We don't have to take the risk of putting a lease agreement in my client's names. They just got to wait until we get an assignee. The assignee comes and everything gets taken care of. We furnish the place, make it nice, thing. So that's the best part about this. So our probably biggest challenge that would have is just going and finding the best places. That's it. But that's not really a challenge because we're not going to take the lease agreement anyway. So it would be going. And the reason what I'm talking about again is the model that I've been showing you guys is here, right? So the landlord's property, this part in the middle is we got to find the most best place. Once we find the best landlord's property, again, we don't pay rent. The assignee pays the rent. But once we find the best landlord's property, that's when we said, okay, we take photos of it unfurnished. We show what it looks like furnished. We don't list it. We don't list it. We list it to our relocation consultant, and then she says, "Yep, I've got someone who's coming in there." Maybe she'll come to me, "Hey, Sujiro, do you have a 2-bedroom in Lavington available? This person wants a little bit of chill outside of Westlands." Then we go in. What property do we have in Lavington? We look. Boom. We show them the menu, unfurnished. This is what it will look like furnished, personalized. They say, "Yep, we want to move in there." Okay, we've got one month to furnish. We've got 2 months to furnish. Boom, furnish it, and that's a 1-year lease. That's a 2-year lease. Some of the assignees are 2-year leases because why? Their company's moving to Kenya, so they got they're staying here for 2 years. So and then that's just cash flow coming into you every single month. You get paid quarterly from the client. So that's what we work with One Boy. Book in your time. We will see you in the next webinar. Book in your time if you haven't, and we'll see you guys later. Thank you guys. Bye.